all you need to do to get sales and leads for your business is to talk on YouTube like this. That's kind of it, honestly. Like, you should just grab an Osmo Pocket, your phone, or any camera capable, put a little light there. You could even look like a bum, put on a hat, and all you need to do is talk organically, and that will generate you sales and leads. The myriad of channels that sell a course, they pitch a product, they own a brand. There are so many examples that I can't even say them, because you just browse the platform for 5 minutes and you will find what I'm talking about. This is also the case on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, every platform, maybe even Twitch, maybe even Kick. Everybody is pushing something. And a lot of times, they're not even producing these like high quality videos. Some of them are. I think we are reaching a new level of authenticity where everything is like the pendulum swinging, right? So we went through a phase where it was kind of like the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, and that caused everybody to have these hard edits, graphics, attention, retention, and that's still there. That is still on the platform. Some videos that I make are like that. I've worked with major YouTubers and I have edited content like that, and that content's still there and it still works. I do feel like the next trend, the next generation of content is going to go back full circle to content like this. Talking head, minimal editing, and about a topic. See, my theory is that there is such a flood and a glut of content creators and people trying to do this. Not to mention that now you're also fighting with AI, which even if the AI videos don't get as many views and people are upset by them, they're still there on the platform, taking up space and competing for keywords. So more than ever, I feel like we are going to transition into a point of needing to upload consistently, authentically, and being able to do it quickly enough that we can compete with the retention economy, that we can compete with the attention economy. If a video takes you a month to produce and you are competing against these content farms, against people that have teams, against AI and all these myriad of things, like, you're cooked, you're not going anywhere, you're not getting any views. You have to be able to churn content. You have to just get through it, upload it, get through it, upload it. I'm trying to implement this myself. It is really difficult sometimes because I am of the video filmmaking space, right? So I feel like the content I make has to be precious and I have to have the Rembrandt lighting on my face and all these different things. Not necessary. I assure you that this is going to work where you are just uploading uploading content, talking about a topic, whatever that might be for you. Maybe you're a vitamin company, maybe you're a dentist. If you make content about that subject and you upload it consistently, you will be showing up for all the keywords that they are searching for that business. For example, if you are a dentist in Orlando, that's the city that I am in, so that's why I'm saying that. You are constantly making content about dentists in Orlando, or you're constantly using hashtag dentist Orlando and all these different things, and you're putting yourself out there for those keywords, people are going to find you. Now, there's other initiatives that you might want to do as a dentist in Orlando, like maybe you're doing a paid ads campaign so that you can target specific neighborhoods and such, right? But making content about a topic is not going to hurt. It's going to actually just help you be a part of that ecosystem, a part of that keyword, whatever that keyword might be for you. Not to mention that people like to learn about different things, and you're also going to probably make friends within that community. So let's say you're an e-commerce brand and you're talking about the difficulties of owning an e-commerce brand, or the difficulties about owning a vitamin company or whatever, right? And you're making little vlogs about that. Maybe you're making little TikToks, maybe you're making Instagrams. You're gonna find other people in the community to be friends with, which maybe you don't really care about being friends with anybody in the community, but it's always good to network. It's always good to expand the amount of people that you know in a certain subject. It's always good to just expand the reach of people seeing your face constantly. It could also just be people that like your product already. But if they're just constantly seeing you, they feel like they have a more authentic connection to you than just a phone call or whatever shorter interaction. If they are constantly consuming content of your thoughts and of your feelings and everything, they feel like they have a deeper relationship with you. But then you're like, hey Cam, but I'm just not comfortable talking on YouTube. Like, I just think I suck and I don't want people like judging me. It needs to feel organic, like you are having a conversation. The test that I do is, can you talk about that subject, whatever that might be, to somebody, to like a random person? Can you talk about that subject for 1 whole hour, for like Can you talk about that subject for like 30 minutes to 1 hour? Most of the time, if it's your business, if it's something that you're promoting, if you're a coach, if you're the myriad of different things, whatever that is, you will be able to have a conversation with somebody for 30 minutes and talk their ear off. Unless, I guess, it's possible that you really are not comfortable talking and you are not comfortable at all. If that's the case, I would search for alternative routes, like, maybe UGC or hiring an actor or spokesperson or something. But for most people, they will be able to talk about a subject for 30 minutes. If you can talk about a subject for 30 minutes and you have enough knowledge to yap about it for that long, which is a significant amount of time to talk about a subject, right? For me, that's video, filmmaking, content, etc. Like, I can sit there and talk your ear off. Even if you don't want to hear it, I will probably yap about something that you don't care about and have no interest in. I can talk about gear, I can talk about the different pitfalls, pain points, everything. Like, you want to make bullet points about these different things and about these different pain points and things that are interesting to you. The other thing is next, Cam, but I'm not really a business. I'm not really looking to promote anything. I just kind of want to make content. I just want to make YouTube videos. I think it's fun. Well, then my main advice is to make YouTube videos about something that you find extremely interesting. If you try to force yourself to do a channel about a subject that you are not that interested in, you don't naturally talk about, you don't naturally feel drawn to when you're sitting there. When you're sitting there in silence, are you thinking about that subject? If you're not to any of those questions, then you should probably not make a channel about that subject because you're going to get bored. You're not going to have the grit to continue the pain that it is to make content. You're not going to be able to talk to a camera for that long about that subject. You're not going to be able to write scripts, talking points, all these different things. You're not going to be able to do that if you don't find yourself particularly drawn to that topic. You have to just lock in on being able to think about what interests you the most. Think about what you can talk about for 30 minutes and pursue that. That's if you want to make content, of course. So let's brainstorm for a second. It's like, okay, I want to make a YouTube channel, but you can't just stop there and be like, I want to make a YouTube channel, because, gone are the days where you could be like Casey Neistat, just rolling through New York with no rhyme or reason, and the videos would get views because it was new and nobody was kind of doing that before. So now you have to, the way that communities work now is that it's niche-based communities and then you grow from there. Even some examples of your favorite YouTubers like Ryan Tahan, he started as a running channel. Usually a channel starts as a niche subject. For example, I think his name is Will Tenenbaum or something like that. I cannot say his name, but Will Tenenson, I think is his name. He started with fitness content and then worked his way up to doing these challenges and things that he does now. Everybody kind of starts with a niche subject right now, whatever that might be, whatever interests you, whatever makes your eyes twinkle. It is actually rather difficult sometimes to get picked up in the YouTube algorithm early on without having a niche, because the algorithm gets confused. So if one video is about cars and the other video is about cooking, the algorithm doesn't know who to send your video or your content to, so that's like a bit of a problem. So it's easier to start with a niche, something that interests you and is very powerful to you, and then work your way up and out of that and kind of like slowly start expanding the different topics that you cover, and you can kind of work from there. So for example, like making filmmaking business kind of content about making content, which is the cheesiest thing that you could do as a filmmaker, but either way, I'm trying to do a different approach and be a little bit more raw than the other channels that I see. I can eventually probably work my way into doing different things with this channel, but you have to start with a niche. You have to start with a subject that interests you. Maybe you're really into cars and you can make full-fledged car documentaries talking about different models, or maybe you're into sports and you're like really interested in tennis or something and you can make documentaries about tennis. There are so many different things that you can make videos about, but you do have to pick something and go for that. And that's also better for you too, because you're just going to be way more comfortable and easygoing on camera when you're able to talk about a subject. And then other than that, you have to make the test, honestly, which I'm still working on this test myself. I'm very close. You have to make 100 videos. I know that sounds like a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot of videos, but you have to make 100 videos. You cannot have proof of concept on this platform, maybe on TikTok and Instagram. I'm not a big shorts creator. I actually have a disdain for shorts. But if you are pursuing long form, you need to be uploading 100 videos. If you do not do that, you will have no idea if it's working and you won't get better either. So 100 videos is very important. Anyways, I think this style of video, I think that it's the new wave, and it's the new way that people are going to get sales and leads. And I think it's the new way that people are just generally going to grow on this platform going forward.